Welcome back, traders. Today I'm going to talk a bit about Bitcoin and some amazing moves that have been taking place in the Bitcoin miners. As you can see here, we're starting off on the Fear and Greed Index. We're smack dab in the middle there, right at 50. It says fear down here, but that seems pretty neutral in my opinion, especially based on the price movement in the chart. Yesterday we were at greed and we came down a little bit, so kind of nothing going on in there. You can see that volume decreased a little bit in the last 24 hours, market cap a little bit, Bitcoin dominance is also dropping a little. Take a look at the order book. So this is cryptometer.io. You can see here 24-hour trades, 1-hour trades, 30-minute trades, all this stuff. 1-minute trades, all sells. So that's not great. 5-minute, mostly buys throughout the day except the 24 hours, and now we're all buys for no data. Anyways, 24-hour change, some things. Let's see, we've got a little bit of a different volume as we mentioned. Uh, Nothing really too exciting there. Let's go to the live order book that is down here somewhere. It'll take me. Click the button. Live order book. So what are we seeing here? Not a lot. Not a lot going on in here. Oh, that's tick by tick. That's like barely any change in there. Can I adjust this? I don't see an option to adjust this to be higher dollar value, so that's not really useful to me. I do like this little thing here where the buy and sells are sort of fighting each other back and forth. I was hoping that order book would be a little more useful. It wasn't. Anyway, so this is the Bitcoin chart. You can see this is the daily chart. We're still just locked in between 30,000 and 29,000. Nothing really interesting is going to happen until Bitcoin breaks out of this little space right here between these two lines. We're also a bit locked on this downward trend line here. As you can see, we went way above it, we came back to touch it, and now we're reversing a little bit on the upside of it. So we may yet see this cup form here. But as of right now, we're just staying right in that zone, just in the middle here, fluctuating between 29 and 30,000. We did wick above 30,000 slightly, and then came back down. We did that twice the last 2 days. I expect maybe tomorrow or the next day we may wick down below 29,000. We'll see. Bitcoin's a bit wild and unpredictable in terms of which way it's going to wick, but we're just waiting for it to get out of this channel here. And once it does that, it should be a pretty explosive move, probably not too dissimilar from this upward move here. And we might see it go up into like the 33 or 34,000 range, because that's the next resistance point that we have on the chart. So for now, it's just fluctuating. Let's see here. Let's go check out the miners. All right, let's take a look at the miners. Mara. So the last 3 days have been very exciting on the Bitcoin miners. As you can see here, Friday and Monday we had this huge sell-off. Almost came into my buy zone down here around $14. I did buy some down here under $15 in the $14 range. Then as you see on Tuesday, it just went way, way up after that. Today we're selling off, so I'm expecting this channel, this upper channel that we broke today, to become a bear flag, very much like some of these previous ones here where we sort of come up most of the way from it. So I'm expecting to see us continue to follow this downward channel, bouncing around inside of here until we get back into that $14 range and maybe lower. I'm expecting this box here to hold some resistance and bounce around in here a little bit. This is the hourly, so we've got a few more hours where it can bounce around in here before it is, officially out of this channel. But as we've seen before, it can come out of this channel for a few hours and work its way back to it. So even if we went back up, and back up to this trend line up here and came back down, that really wouldn't be too out of the ordinary or anything to be worried about until it does. I'd be more of the mind that it's going to go up more when it breaks above this trend line, or honestly, I'll probably leave this on my chart, maybe not because it's starting to get messy, out of this downward channel here. Yeah. When this downward channel, this big one, when this is broken, I'll be very bullish on the price action once that happens. But for now, I'm still seeing this pretty sharp downward channel here. This upward one has been broken, so that's probably bear flag in the lower time frames. But we are following still this big one here, and we are also kind of respecting both of these trend lines, the one going up and down. As you can see, it's kind of playing real close to this downward one and bouncing a little bit off of this, or rejecting a little bit off of this upper one. We'll see. We'll see what happens going further with Mara, but I'm expecting a little more downside. I'm planning to pick this up in the $14, $13 range. I've got some puts on it that I sold that if it goes down to $15 will trigger and I'll end up with 100 shares at $15. I'll see if that happens or not, but that's Mara for now. Let's look at Bit Digital, BT. So again, Friday and Monday, huge sell-off, big wick on the bottom. I bought a bunch down in here. It was very exciting. I was super happy to pick up shares at under 350 on Monday. Yeah, on Monday. Tuesday, we got a similar sort of thing going on here. Big wick on the bottom. Didn't really buy any. Today, I bought a little bit on this big red engulfing candle here. Well, it's not quite engulfing, but it's getting there. Well, it can't get there. Day's over. Uh, Still in this big downward trend. I'm expecting to pick some up at $3 down here. I'm expecting that to happen unless Bitcoin turns around. We are trading below this shelf I've been talking about here at 376. That was a big level that it just closed under. So I am expecting this level to now be resistance. So getting over 376 is going to be pretty tough going forward. I mean, let me go into after hours, make sure it hasn't already done it. Let me go into after hours. Here we go. Let's see what's going on in extended. Nothing yet. Nothing happening in extended hours yet on this one. So it's still staying just below it. It's just below it. The daily close was below that 376, 377. I'm expecting it to go down in my box here in 320s as a result, because this is now, as it was, very strong support. As you can see, it came 1, 2, 3, stayed down there for 3 days, 4, broke it, came back up, 5, broke it, and we'll see if it goes back up or not. If it doesn't come up in the next couple of days, by the end of the week, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm very bearish on this price action for now, and I want to see it come down and meet $3, and I would be actually pretty happy if it did that. I'd buy quite a few shares at $3 if that were to happen. Let's look at Bitfarms now. Bitfarms got into our buy zone. So the buy zone here was between 148 and 144, and it, for a whole hour, it played exactly in that level without leaving it up above or below it. And I was buying all hour long and on this candle here, which was also an extremely bullish candle. As you can see, the long wick on the bottom, the short blue body, and then after it just took off. It is now selling. This is looking like a bear flag now. So I am expecting Bitfarms to re-enter this zone down here and then be something that I'm looking to pick up again at the sub $1.50 range so again, and I'm hoping to establish the majority of my position in this little space right here between 148 and 144. And if it goes even lower than that, I'll buy even more if it gets down to this range of 120 to 110 down here. But we are still, like the others, in this pretty strong downward channel. We are respecting it. We're hitting the top of it, going to the bottom of it, hitting the top of it again, finding our way all the way to the bottom. Broke out a little bit, but went right back up to the top of it before we re-entered and came to the center here right now. This will probably go back to the bottom again until it breaks above this channel and stays above this channel. We're going to keep going down. You can see it broke it a little bit right here, but immediately reversed. Like, look how powerful that was. Just, that was a very good day to buy. I'm very happy that I did it on that day. Anyways, that's the update for today. Miners are looking like they're on their way down as long as Bitcoin is consolidating and moving between 29,000 and 28,000, or sorry, between 30,000 and 29,000. If it goes above that, we'll see some good positive moves in the miners. If it goes below that, we'll see some pretty intense negative moves in the miners. And if it does what it's been doing for now, we'll continue the slow bleed that we've been seeing. So with that, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.